All right, Yu-Gi-Oh players, brand new cards. All right, so starting off, we got some sharks, we've got some DDs, we've also got a bunch of just like generic water support, I want to say, and then I don't know what the heck this is. It could be from another Konami game, but also we're getting a promo over here that is like top secret over here, but it is going to have to do with Endymion, so maybe that archetype or deck will come back. You guys remember the spell counter one? That might actually see some play again. Anyway, starting right off, let's go check out the brand new sharks. So first off, we got Spider Shark, so this is number S37 Spider Shark. Water Sea Serpent exceeds effect, rank 5, 2600 attack, 21 defense points, and requires 3 level 5 water monsters, or you can also succeed summon this card using number 37 Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. You control its material. You can transfer its material to this card. Then once per turn, you can detach material from this card, target a monster your opponent controls, banish it until their next standby phase, and if you do, any face-up monster they currently control loses 1000 attack until the end of the turn. Remember, it's got 26, so at that point, you can kind of think of it almost like 3600 attack. And then during the end phase of this card is in your graveyard because it was destroyed and sent there this turn after being sea summoned, you get a special summon it. So kind of like reoccurs and brings itself back. And then next up, this is their boss monster, number S38 Titanic Galaxy, which is a light dragon exceeds effect, rank 9, 3000 attack, 2500. Oh, of course, 3 level 9 monsters. Okay, this is a boss card. All right, so you can also exceed some of this card by using number 38 Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy. You control its material, transfer its material to this card. So it gains 200 attack for each material it has, so maybe you get like 2 or 3. 3600, at least by default, you should have at least 3, right? But on top of that, it says once per turn, you can target up to 2 spell and traps your opponent controls, attach them to this card as material. And then the targeted cards and their effects cannot be activated in response to this effect's activation. More than likely, they would just activate its effect as soon as the card is summoned anyways. But the third effect is, because it's not a quick effect, right? Yeah, it's not a quick effect. It says you can detach 1 material from this card until the end of this turn. This card's original attack becomes 1500 and it can attack directly. Okay. And then next up we have the Hope, or Revelation of Hope, which is a normal spell card that says you can only activate 1 card of this card's name per turn. Send 1 face-up level 8 dragon monster you control to the graveyard to spell summon 1 rank 8 dragon seed monster from your extra deck. This is treated as exceed summon. Well, that's actually a pretty cool card. I like that. That's awesome. And then next up, we've got Galaxy Journey. So that's a quick play spell that says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is spell summon 1 of your banished light or dark monsters. And then if a face-up exceed monster you control becomes banished while this card is in your graveyard, you get to banish this card, then target 1 of those monsters and special summon it. Cool stuff. Indeed. All right. It's kind of some support that could be generic for other things, but let's check out the new DDs and DDDs. So it says the Anti-Pendulum Duelist. All right. So we have DD Count Surveyor, which is a monster. It's level 8, 2000, 2000, pen scale of 1. And so its pendulum effect is once per turn, if you pendulum summon a DDD monster, you can target 3 monsters your opponent controls with the same type or attribute as each other. Tribute 2 of those face-up monsters. If you do, the other gains attack and defense equal to the attack and defense of the treated monster had on the field. Okay. Monster effect is that you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is you can discard 1 other DD monster to special summon this card from your hand. The second part is if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add 1 DD monster with 0 attack or defense from your deck to hand. I mean, this card overall just seems like it's really, really good. I haven't seen DDs in a while. However, I want to say that deck has always been pretty solid. It's just that like people have to learn how to play, and that deck gets pretty complex. This ruler looking card. Okay, so we have Scale Surveyor, level 2 Dark Fiend, Pendulum, 0 attack, 1000 defense, pen scale of 9, and its pendulum effect is you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is during the standby phase, you can target up to 2 cards in the pendulum zone. Their pendulum scales become 0 until the end of this turn. And then the monster effect is you can use the first, second, and third monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. So, I mean, is this the first pen scale of 0? I can't recall any other card letting you become 0. So that means you could actually go like with 1, right? It's interesting. And then the other monster effect is you can only use all of the other effects of those once per turn. So if you control a DD pendulum monster card, you could just special summon this card from your hand. Second part is if this card is normal or special, you can make its level become 4. Third part is if this card is sent to the graveyard or added to the extra deck face up, you can target a DD pendulum monster you control and return it to the hand. Next up, we have DD Extra Surveyor, which is a level 5 Dark Fiend pendulum effect, scale of 4, 1000 attack, and its pendulum effect is you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is, if a face-up monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you get to target one DD monster you control, banish 2 cards from your pendulum zone, and if you do, that target can make a second attack during each battle phase of this turn. The other monster effect is that you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is you can discard this card, add a face-up DD pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except for a DD extra surveyor. Second part is, if this card becomes banished, you get to banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of face-up pendulum monsters in their extra deck. Then you can make one DD monster you control gain 200 attack for each card banished by this effect. Okay. Next up, we have a Mortar Kaiser. So it is a 2000 attack, 1400 defense. Looks like it's going to be level 5 Dark Machine. Says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand to immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a Dark Machine monster. That's a pretty cool effect. And then the second part is you get to target one monster you control, destroy it, then you get to special one engine token. That's a Machine Earth, level 1, 200 in attack position. I guess you can use, but what is it, Diffuser? I forgot what that card was called. It has like I think it has like 2600 attack, and it's like you can normal summon it, but then it like loses its stats or something. But yeah, you can just like normal summon that if you really want to go for that Kappa. Anyways, 2-for-1 repair job. All right, normal spell card that says you can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name per turn and only once that turn. So the first part is banish a Dark Machine monster from your graveyard to special summon one monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard that mentions engine token. Second part is, if a face-up Dark Machine monster or monsters you control is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, except by battle, you could banish this card to special summon one engine token, Machine Earth, 200 in attack position. Next up, we have Scrap Garage. Oh, is this like supposed to be scrap support? So normal trap card that says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So if a face-up machine monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you target up to 3 Dark Machine monsters in your graveyard to special summon them, but to change their attack and defense. Wow, that's actually pretty good, considering you just destroy your own cards, right? And then the second part of the effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, target a machine monster you control, and actually destroy it. So then you can like get multiples, just run triple, max out. I mean, bringing out 3 Dark Machines, even though their effects are still going to be live, it does make them 0/0, so there's kind of like that downside, but I feel like if it doesn't negate their effects, that's still like actually a pretty solid card. Usually I feel like traps have been really outdated in Yu-Gi-Oh, but that actually seems like a pretty cool card. Next up though, we've got Gift of the Magistus Crowley, or Crowley the Gift of the Magistus. So level 4 Dark Spellcaster effect, 1800 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. This card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you get to special summon it. If this card is no more special, you get to fusion summon one Magus or one invoked fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as material. Third part of the effect is, if this face-up card is used as fusion material, it can be treated as Alistair the Invoker. Cool. And then looks like they got another one. This is a boss, Zora the Magistus, Victorious Very Thragna. So level 8 Fire Spellcaster, 2929. It requires one Magistus monster plus one Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, or Link monster. It says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is you can target an effect monster your opponent controls or in your graveyard and equip that monster to this card. Second part is, when a monster effect is activated as a quick effect, you get to send one face-up Magistus monster card you control to the graveyard, negate that effect. Then you get to destroy one card your opponent controls. And then we have the... Is it the little, what was that? Is it all like girl spellcaster archetype? I forgot what it was called. Is it called Lacrima or Very? But anyways, Lacrima of light, quick play spell card. It's always treated as a Magistus or Witchcrafter. That was the archetype. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is, if you control a Magistus or a Witchcrafter monster, you can just send one spellcaster monster or one spell from your deck to the graveyard. The other effect is, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you get a special summon one Magistus or Witchcrafter monster from your hand or deck. Dude, whenever your opponent does that, dude, that's like absolutely crazy, man. Just like, oh, dude, you activate any card or effect, I just special summon one from the deck. All right, next up we have Thor's Hammer, which is a normal spell card that says always treat it as Magistus and an Endymion card. So Endymion coming back because I got another card coming. So send one other face-up Magistus card you control to the graveyard, or remove 2 spell counters from your field to activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part of it says to special summon a spellcaster monster from your hand face up, extra deck, or graveyard, and then it says to banish 1 card on the field. And then also some bunch of reprints. Damn, Mystic Potato reprint, let's go. Anything else that's super, dang, dude, Bryonac coming back? We need the Re-Errata, and also Monster Reborn. Okay, and then next up we have Ice Doll, which is, I believe this is the other water stuff over here, yeah. So level 2 water spellcaster effect monster, 800 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. So you can't special summon the turn you activate any of this card's effects except for water monsters. You discard 1 other water monster to special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you get to add 1 water spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand. Dang, that ice barriers, man. The third part is if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to add an Ice Doll Mirror from your deck to your hand. Then we have Ice Doll Mirror. Is this a full on archetype? Okay, I was kind of like more excited because like I've never heard of these. Anyways, Ice Doll Mirror, normal spell. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is to send 1 water monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to special summon 1 monster from your hand or deck with the same name as a water monster you control. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn after this card resolves except for water monsters. You can banish this card from a graveyard to add 1 Ice Doll from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Then we have the Twin Pillars of Ice, which is a quick play spell card that says you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is to special summon 2 Ice Pillar tokens, Water Aqua level 4, attack 1900, defense 1200. Okay, pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's a defense position though. Also, you can't special summon for the rest from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Second part is you can banish this card from your graveyard immediately after this effect resolves to normal summon 1 water monster. Okay. And then I have no idea what these are. I want to say that this could actually be from another Konami video game. If you guys know what is this video game, let me know down below. I'm assuming it's from, again, some sort of, I mean, this looks like it's from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, but again, could be from another Konami game. Anyways, so Bat, the Forest Ninja. So it's a level 3 Light Beast Tuner effect, 800. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. First part is, if this card is face up in the field zone, you can just special summon this card from your hand. If there's a face up card in the field zone, okay. Second part is, if this card is normal or special, you get to have Fairy Tale Prologue, Journey's Dawn on your field, or in your graveyard, you get to add 1 Light Beast monster from your deck. Oh, is it the Fairy Tale archetype? I think that might be what it is. Next up, we have Wonko, Noble Knight of the Forest, which is a level 4 Light Beast, which I guess you can add that Light Beast. There you go. So 1100 attack, 16 defense. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is normal or special, you get to add 1 Fairy Tale Prologue, Journey's Dawn. What is this card? I gotta look this up because I don't know that card off the top of my head. From your deck to your hand. Or if you have Fairy Tale Prologue, Journey's Dawn on your field or in your graveyard, you can draw 1 card instead. Okay. Your opponent's monsters cannot target monsters for attacks while there is a card in the field zone except for this one. Third part is when this card is destroyed by battle, you can make that monster destroyed at lose 500 attack. Oh, that's this card right here. And then Fairy Tale Prologue Journey's Dawn is the field spell that says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So all battle damage either player take is halved. Second part is if you control a light beast monster or level 7 or 8 dragon super monster, you can just draw 1 card. The third part of the effect is once per turn during the standby phase, you can send this card from the field zone to the graveyard to place a field spell from your hand or deck face up in your field zone, except for Fairy Tale Prologue Journey's Dawn. Well, that's actually really good. Wait, this is like super good. You take any field spell from your deck and just place it there. I mean, it's basically running like more copies of Terraforming or any of those things, and it could cycle and it counts as another spell, right? Because it sends to the graveyard. So if you're playing, I don't know, Sky Shrinker or some other archetype that can benefit off of having more cards in the graveyard or spells, I think this card definitely will see some play even in non-archetype. Definitely pretty solid card just for searching out field spells. And then we have Crescent of the Magistus of Endymion. There's really no effects of this card. It looks like it's going to be linked to in the left and the bottom right. It's kind of hyping it up. More than likely, since we also got that other Endymion card, I'm guessing we're probably going to get some more Endymion support. I don't know where that card was, but there was another Endymion. Remove 2 cards, or choose spell counter cards. But anyways, let me know, guys, what you thought of the new Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on the bell if you guys want to see gameplay and more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the future. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.